Welcome to Exclusive with Taghreed Hussein here on Nile TV International, while we are witnessing tonight a beautiful ceremony in celebration of signing of two books, Kingdom of the Heart, that has been translated into more than one language by Professor Dr. Mona Zeki, and the Peruvian culture in Egypt that has been signed tonight by His Excellency Peru's ambassador to Egypt. So welcome to this beautiful signing ceremony that reflects on the soft power in Egypt, reflecting on culture, history, our great civilization, and more. On Exclusive with Taghreed Hussein tonight, we're really honored on the sidelines of this beautiful celebration to have with us Professor Dr. Mona Zeki, our global strategic consultant. Let me say, Professor Mona, congratulations on the Kingdom of the Heart, a beautiful story that is really, very sensitive and very passionate and very sentimental. And we need those sorts of feelings in our lives today.
Thank you very much, Taghreed, for this lovely interview, and your presence. And Nile TV International is always a great tool for soft power to represent Egypt worldwide. And I see you and your team, you're doing a great job. God bless you all. I'm very proud to launch tonight the first published novel, Kingdom of the Heart. As you were saying, as a professor of strategic thinking, there is a huge interrelation between strategic thinking and soft power. And I feel that there is a deep strategic dimension for soft power to build and to elevate human relations and human feelings and human emotions. And I hope through my novel Kingdom of the Heart I could really write about a beautiful love story that represent women and men giving their best to make everybody happy, giving their best to build the generations to come, and to build their country, to represent humanity in a very noble and spiritual and refined, elegant way, through a beautiful love story that really that hopefully will make a difference when it is read by readers or heard by the listeners, or hopefully when it's becoming a TV episode or a movie, it will make a difference.
On the sidelines of the ceremony, we're really honored to have with us His Excellency Ambassador Paul Paradis, the Ambassador of Peru to Egypt. Your Excellency, thank you so much, and congratulations on this beautiful edition that is definitely defining Peru's culture in Egypt.
Very kind of you, Taghreed. I am really honored to be in front of you, the Nile Television International, and I'm really happy to be ready to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you so much. We're talking about the great bond between Egypt and Peru, and Your Excellency has reflected on the cultural bond here in this refined book.
Yes, first of all, what I must say is that Peru and Egypt are civilizations, cradle of the culture of mankind, and they are extremely alike. There are many points in which you can say Egyptians and Peruvians are similar from their culture, from their history.
Ambassador, if we would talk more about, since we're talking today about this beautiful edition of yours, about fostering cultural relations and tourism between Egypt and Peru, what would you say?
First of all, I think both countries, they have a lot of attractions to develop tourism. That's true. And in the case of Egypt, for example, you are not the idea of pyramids, as in the case of Peru, the Machu Picchu. You have so many attractions, not only, let's say, the most relevant ones in the north or in the Red Sea, but also in the south. You have so beautiful impressive constructions as you can see in Karnak, Luxor, Abu Simbel, that really shows us the level of the culture you arrived in the past, some thousands of years before from now.
Looking forward to further cooperation, Ambassador, and on your priority list, definitely also increasing the volume of trade and further opening investments. Egypt is providing incentives to attract foreign direct investment.
Yes, of course. For example, I have made a presentation of Peruvian export offer here in Egypt last Sunday, 4 April. And of course, I talk about all the possibilities we have as countries to increase our trade and our relations, economic relations. For example, in agro-industrial products, in textiles, in fisheries, as well as in metal mechanica and manufactures. But maybe, Taghreed, maybe I can talk about the book, because the book is a realization of Egyptians, to be frank and to be honored to them. I have the Embassy of Peru, in the context of the bicentennial of the independence of Peru, has made 2 books. That is the first tome of Culture of Peru in Egypt. We have made 2, and we are on the way to make the tome 3, the volume 3. In fact, in each volume you have 10 academic research made by very high qualified doctors from 11 universities in Egypt, who manages a very high Spanish, impressive. The book has each one 750 pages. It's in Spanish and Arabic, so bilingual. And each volume has 10 academic research. Most of them are Egyptians, as I said, from 11 universities of Cairo. In these books, we deal with 3 areas. First of all, we can compare big writers, Peruvians and Egyptians. Naguib Mahfouz, for example, Mario Vargas Llosa. Second, these books, they talk about the most relevant Peruvian writers. And 3, we tackle issues related to history, geography, comparing Egypt and Peru, because they are very alike, as I said, as civilizations.
That's great, Ambassador, and I congratulate you on that achievement. And we always say, forward ever, Egypt and Peru, the best is yet to come. Thank you, Ambassador.
Thank you very much. God bless Egyptians. God bless Egypt. All the best for you. Thank you again. Thank you.
And it's an honor to have with us His Excellency Ambassador Alejandro Gantes, Ambassador of Panama to Egypt. Your Excellency, thank you so much for joining Nile TV International. Egypt and Panama has always enjoyed strong and solid relations on the path of partnership and development. So the sky is always the limit in our relations.
Yes. Thank you very much for this interview. I have to give a testimony for our relation between Panama and Egypt. We are an important relation. We have a common, the Panama Canal and Suez Canal, and we have a good relations, cooperation, harmony relations, very important cooperation between us, both canals.
It's an honor to have with us His Excellency Ambassador of Spain. Your Excellency, thank you so much for joining Nile TV International. And today it was a very pleasant ceremony where we have witnessed the signing of two books, The Kingdom of the Heart for Professor Mona Zaki and The Culture of Peru in Egypt by His Excellency Ambassador of Peru. And I would love to know more about your impressions.
It's been wonderful. I was looking very much forward to this event, basically because I knew Mona Zaki a few weeks after I arrived in Cairo 3 years ago, and she told me she was writing a book. It was not this, but now this one came a bit later, and people spoke to me about this book. Not going to be able to read it until they make the translation into English, but it's people have told me it's a great book. So I'm very glad that. Dr. Zaki, who works on sociology and other events, has decided to do this jump into literature. And at the same time, Ambassador Paul Paredes have done an extremely great work during his stay in Egypt, making the professors of Spanish literature familiar with Peruvian literature, and he's made 2 books relating Egyptian authors with Peruvian authors, and establishing parallel cultural relations between Egypt and Peru. And I think that's great for the better knowledge of the cultures of Egypt and the culture of the Hispanic world.
We're really honored to have with us Senator Dr. Hani Sareddin, and tonight it was a pleasant ceremony revealing 2 books, Kingdom of the Heart for Professor Dr. Mona Zaki and the Ambassador of Peru, talking about the Peruvian culture in Egypt. Dr. Sareddin, you talked about soft power and its importance and the lovely introduction that we saw. Your impressions concerning those beautiful works?
I'm very happy and pleased to be with you today, and I'm very happy to be in this event, which always establishes the power of the soft power. So I'm very happy to introduce those 2 books. One about the Peru and Egypt, which interestingly reflect the culture, the deep culture of Peru, and the similarities between the 2 cultures, the Egyptian culture and the Peruvian culture. So it's very interesting work. Also, it was very good to have this new novel for Dr. Mona Zaki and to be part of this celebration.
It's always a pleasure and honor to have with us Mr. Alfredo Ibad, who is the regional representative of the European Investment Bank. Thank you so much for joining Nile TV International. A beautiful ceremony for signing of 2 books by Professor Dr. Mona Zaki and the Ambassador of Peru. One by Professor Zaki talking about Egypt's soft power and culture and civilization, by His Excellency Peru's Ambassador talking about the Peru's culture in Egypt.
Yes, correct. I think it's a beautiful ceremony, certainly. I think it's also a good gathering amongst friends. I think they make us feel very comfortable here. And I think, as you say, I think there are 2 interesting books, one of them talking about Egypt, but I think the balance of powers between men and women, I think it's something that also Dr. Mona Zaki has made a very inspiring touch with his soft speech. And Ambassador of Peru as well. I think he brought us to this traveling in time and the connections between Peru and Egypt, which I think sometimes we think it is far in time, far in distance, But then when you start to have these distinguished doctors and professors looking into the relationship, you start to see that there is much more in common than what we thought.
That was exclusive with Taghreed Hussein here on Nile TV International. Many thanks for watching.